And salutations.
Salutations and greetings.
We are back with a new episode of Baldie Locs with Dion Lack and Twilla Amin. I heard something today that was, you know who I like really? Demetri Martin. I know I'm kind of going out of place.
Yeah.
Demetri Martin.
Who's that?
He's a comedian.
Oh.
What I love is the word vice versa should be vice versa.
It should be versa vice.
It should be versa vice, and it should make sense. It should be like, I'm not. This is very versa vice, and but what you said is like, what? That's it. That's it, and I just love that.
Wow.
Like the word should be
because
it should be reversible. Like we should, you know how people say ASAP and SAP, like those are irreplaceable. They mean the same thing, but I kind of feel like as soon as possible, and ASAP, even though it's the same thing, but they're interchangeable. And was it interchangeable?
Yes.
Interchangeable.
Why are you watching the TV?
Your
eyes went straight there.
Yeah, I was really trying to figure out the art of this. He also said twins should work at copy. Twins should work at copy stores and Kinko's just to be like, is this?
It's a copy.
Yes,
wow,
that's it.
That's funny. That's
funny.
How's it going today,
Chris.
Dion?
Oh,
How was your week? Talk to me.
It has been very tumultuous.
Tumultuous.
Yes.
Why is that? I mean, you don't have to talk about it on air, but
no, it's it's one of those tug of wars, man. What direction you want to go? Mm-hmm. Life is full of that, and I hate it.
Yeah.
It's full of what direction you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. What's going on, Twills? How about yourself?
This week it's been a week. It's been a week. But in all of that, I hit my 4-day-a-week workout goal. Did that. Definitely need to rest. I need to put rest days in between and not go back to back. But
you sore?
I'm sore, and also, I have knee injuries, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm not overdoing it on that and letting it rest and stuff like that. But it feels good. You could definitely tell a difference in your body when it's getting motion and movement. It's just been some things. But your girl been doing weights and cardio and cutting out sweet. I went to my friend's baby shower today.
Okay.
And had the regular meal, but I had said to myself before, I said, self, you will not indulge in a dessert table because you got problems and you can't control it.
There it is.
Because if you eat a cookie,
it's just going to keep going.
Then you're going to end up with butter pecan ice cream tonight.
Oh, boy.
So I said, self,
got to walk away.
Don't do it.
But if I smell a sweet burp, I'm putting you in a headlock.
Self did not do it. That's what I'm here to say.
I don't believe you.
I have witnesses.
Okay. Did you have to voice your opinion?
No, it was just like people kept coming to the table like, ooh, these cookies are so good. Did you try these cookies? Oh, that's snickerdoodle too? Like they just kept going, and then one girl was like, well, I'm on a diet, so I'm really trying to keep my carbs low, but I can drink wine tonight. I'm going to an event. I'm having wine tonight. And somebody was like, well, there's small cupcakes up there if you want the small cupcakes. And I was just like, no, I'm with her. I'm not eating that right now. So
because you really, I can't say you really have a problem, is when you try to bring other people in. When they say when you fast, you're not supposed to tell people. But it's also, that's when it comes to like a more of a religion sort of
spiritual thing. So you're not bragging.
Thing. Yeah. Right. But you have a problem when you have to have people to be like, hey, if you see me over in the dessert table, slap my hand.
Slap my hand.
Slap my hand.
That's not a problem. That's accountability.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not a problem. That's you being mature enough to be like, hey, I might not be able to do this on my own right now.
Yeah.
So just, hey, hold me accountable, friend.
Right. Right.
That's what that's about. Yeah. What?
I'm just thinking about the idea of like, hey man, by any chance you see me, golly, dude, that is wild to think.
It's not that wild.
It is.
It's not. I promise you.
I have a problem.
I mean, I think that might be pride in a little bit. Like an idea of pride. Like you don't want to voice to a trusted someone, hey, hold me accountable on this. That's what friendships and iron sharpening iron is.
Yes, I hear you. But it's also like, it's also, because it's almost like, listen, I'm about to fail. I'm going to go over there. I need you to restrain myself from these donuts, cookies, pies, whatever. That's what you like saying.
Sure.
You didn't hear listening. You typing.
No, I heard you. Like I just
what
was
up,
like,
Creole? What up, Jay Lamar? Yeah, I see what you're typing in.
Because I mentioned pride.
What did I say then before you mentioned that?
Before I mentioned that, you were saying like, because you're saying, hey friend, I'm gonna eat these cookies, whatever. Make sure I don't eat them.
What is that? What was the analogy I used?
What?
Yeah. What analogy I used?
I don't know. You always using an analogy.
You wasn't listening.
I was listening to you.
You wasn't listening.
You want to state it again?
Nope.
Okay. Because the thought of pride, I was saying like, I think your idea of saying that is kind of like pride. And then I was listening to a song that I realized I don't probably like that much. LL Cool J and J-Lo, I'm Good. You remember that song? And I'm just listening to early 2000s music this morning. And the line where she says, all my pride is all I have. And he comes back is, pride is what you had, baby girl. I'm what you have. And I'm like, I'm like, she's over here talking about she's ready to get away from you. I'm good. You know, like, I don't need you. And he's like,
break that down for me.
Pride is what you had.
Right, but I don't understand, like, because he said, was the song is talking about I'm good with you?
Yeah, so
I remember the song, but I don't remember the context.
Yeah, the context overall. Dang it, I hate when this happens. When I press, oh, here we go. Just, where she gets back to saying, like, I'm good. I got this thing on lock. So without me, you'll be fine, right? So she's saying like, I'm leaving is her lyrics. And he combats her with different lines. Like, I'm trying to think like like, remember the good times. Like, don't be angry. Don't act hasty. And she's like, all I got is my pride. And he's like, no, baby girl.
Still don't understand it.
Okay. Well,
yeah, that's it. Because you were trying to read it and explain it at the same time. I was like, I want to know from your mouth.
Yeah, I was trying
to. Pride is what I have.
Pride is what she said. All I have is my pride. So I'm leaving here with my dignity. Is her line, and he's like, no, you had that before you met me.
And then he said,
but I'm what you have. Like, you don't have your, and like, I'm sure we could be like, well, you know, like, pride comes before the fall. You should be humble or whatever. But I was like, in this context, I think she should actually leave the situation with her pride.
Got you.
Sometimes lyrics be trash. That's all.
There it is. I wish you would just explain it to me versus trying to read the lyrics.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Sometimes you have to have backup to, like, quantify something. Like, this is what he's saying based on this line. That's how most conversations and proof work.
Yep. There it is. Big Sis Chris, no, it's I'm bound to fall. No, man. Listen, if I look over to the dessert table and was like, hey man, if you see me over there by the dessert table, I need you to tackle me to the ground. It lets me know it's like, I'm going to do this. and I need you to keep an eye on me because I have a problem. And it's like, that's sad.
Pride is what you had. You need this. You need somebody to tackle that up. Like, I think
the person was just like, just don't do it, bro. Just don't do it. Stay away from that area.
Right. I mean, like, the thought behind that, though, is like, if I tell somebody to hold me accountable, I'm not going to do it. It's not that I'm going to do it and I actually need somebody to physically knock it out of my hand.
Right.
It's me coming and saying, hey, do me a favor. I'm trying to be good. So if you see me with that tray of cookies, please.
It's just, don't be so specific. I think all you gotta do is say is, hey, you and I are going to this party tonight. I need you to hold me accountable to make wise decisions with my diet. If you very specific, like if you see me like gargling the chocolate.
I don't think people, I mean, sure, you can say, help me make wise decisions, but that person might not know your diet, right? Mm-hmm. I might not know what you're doing. So you saying, help me make wise decisions, that person's like, well, I'm going to make sure he's not going to eat chips and cake. Mm-hmm. But if you going ham over something because you have high cholesterol, but you eating all the cheese and the eggs, like because you weren't specific, that person can't hold you accountable.
I mean, sure. But if I'm saying, wow, they got everything over there, man. Listen, I need you to make my plate because if I go over there, it's going to be a problem. That is all right? But if I'm like very specific, like, hey, man, if you see me stuffing donuts in my mouth and, motorboating that cheese fountain
if that's what you're liable to do, if you're more likely to do that, if that's your thing, if dunking your head in the chocolate fountain is your thing, you might need to be that specific with somebody.
No, you gotta be like, hey, because it's like you already in the path of, I'm about to ruin this whole day right now. I'm about to go crazy. Cause you already got your mind, you like at 3:00, like, if I had some buttered pecan ice cream, and you keep thinking about it, like, I can taste the buttered pecan, and it's like, they got a sale at Ralph's for 2 for $5. You keep thinking about it.
I'm there.
Yeah, when you keep thinking about it, it's like, yeah, I'm getting this, because your mind is already set on I'm getting this. Versus like, hey, I need you to hold me accountable to making wise decisions. But if you're very specific, it's like, you better not leave. When you very specific, don't leave this house.
I think sure, yes, but I think you're getting caught up on the very specifics.
Right, for sure.
I don't think most people have to be that specific. Just like, hey, girl, I'm trying to cut back on sweets, so hold me accountable.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is too accountable mean? Like,
sometimes it's annoying. So like, I have like friends, and I do have friends. I have friends that like, or family, and it's just like they know the diet that I said. They know like how I said I'm going to eat. So if it's like, for example, I don't know, it's like, hey, actually I did this to someone. I was like, hey, you said you didn't want to eat that type of food anymore because it hurts your stomach and it makes you not feel great. And they were like,
yeah,
that's hard to hear. Yeah. But I did ask you. And it's just like, they're like, it doesn't feel so good, but thank you.
Yeah, especially when you already made the plate.
Yeah.
And they're like, you gonna eat all that? And it's like, are you gonna eat that? Because remember we talked about this. It's like, and you like, I can taste it.
Right.
I can taste this. And now you make an excuse. Now you have a problem. You like, I'm not gonna eat all of it. I'm just gonna eat just a little bit. I just need to taste. I just did it.
Listen.
I just need a little bit.
I just need a little.
I just need a little fix.
Right.
Come on, baby.
Right. But it's
hold on, let me say it. This is even really worse. This is even really bad. You ever told people, told people you eating right, eating clean, eating good, and leave, you got like a whole pint of ice cream in the back, like, okay, Now you just like, this is sad.
Yeah.
This is a problem.
Yeah.
They asked me how was my diet today, and I said, you need to leave.
So I can indulge. Yeah. Like my thing is like I'm cutting back. Cause I think a lot of times in my experience is that a lot of times I'm just like cold turkey, nothing. Like I'm just cutting out all the bad stuff, which sounds great. But then that moment where you fall, like you deprived yourself so much that you just like, oh,
I need this. I deserve this.
Yeah. And then,
I went 6 weeks
right,
with no sugar.
And then it's like that 6 weeks down. So it's like, if you are at the place where you can say, I give myself this day or this every so often, and I have this amount of this treat, then it's a different ball game. But it does take growth to get there, especially.
I think we should add sugarhead into meth head, crackhead. Sugarhead. I think sugarhead should be right up under crack. Meth head, crackhead, sugarhead, which is also an amazing oral sexual position. We are back with a new episode of Baldie Locs. This is Dion Lack. This is Twilla Amin. And we are here to talk about some amazing content that Twilla has came up as she reads the comment section. We got Big Sis Chris. We got Moyo up in here,
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
What is up, my people? Obviously, we have conversation going on here. There is actually very active conversation happening here. And you would know that if you subscribed, hit that notification bell, and logged on when we went live. You would be in the midst of this conversation with some very dope, supportive individuals, our community. We appreciate you all so much.
Yeah. Hey, my beard coming in. That's it. It's coming in. It's coming in like a flight at the LAX.
So question for you. We talked a little bit about Diddy last week. Do you find yourself trying to like go back and listen to Diddy songs before like you can't listen to them anymore?
I never listened to Diddy songs like that. If it came on, it was just on, just like R. Kelly.
He had some like stuff from like that Press Play album that I kind of really liked.
Yeah.
And I was
like last night. Yeah, but I don't seek a lot of Diddy music. Diddy, what sucks is like Diddy's attached to a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's not their music.
Right.
It's not Diddy's music. It's just like that. You hear that. Yeah, take that. But it's also he's not guilty yet.
Right. That's why I said, do you find yourself listening before? Let me get this out my system. No. I don't listen to a lot of people's albums, music at all. Oh, that's true.
Like I just kind of just like if you you play random songs and play 90s music and you just kind of play 90s music. Oh, I remember this hit.
Yeah.
Remember that Nicole Schlesinger, what's her name is?
I know you're talking about Pussycat Dolls.
Yeah, and and Pussycat Dolls, right? And he had a song with her that I used to love. Yeah. And that song was fire. Yeah. Dirty Money.
That's that Dirty Money.
Yeah.
That came on in my workout last night, and I was like, that was one of the songs. I was like, okay.
Victory?
Yeah.
Top 20 favorite songs, dude. I love Victory.
See?
Yeah. And, he had that whole remix. I invented the remix.
He did invent the remix.
Yeah.
And that whole, what was the Biggie album that they redid? The one that came out in like 05, 06.
The what?
Biggie album that they
Biggie Duets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun album. That just you said there was a song that Robert Kelly wrote on a Kurt Franklin album. And I can't remember which song.
Was it yeah. Oh here.
I think it was another one. I gotta find it because I think it's actually a song I really like, and I was like, we, the delegation of Kurt Franklin fans, keep this song.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it was that same album.
What's
I have to remember the song.
I kind of feel like it's hard to just not, because there's a lot of, God, it sucks, dude. Like, how do you just kind of like stop listening to all things Bad Boy?
Yeah, that's hard.
That's a whole chunk of your generation. And R. Kelly too. It's like he wrote a lot of songs for other people.
Right. He wrote a lot.
Yeah, and it's like you can't listen to that song anymore because R. Kelly wrote it. R. Kelly wrote it. It's like, God, you can't do that.
Yeah, I was like, some stuff we just can't give him back.
He's not getting paid for this song, man.
This song, when I sing this song, R. Kelly is not who I'm thinking about. Like, I am not researching songwriters like that.
Right. There's he wrote Charlie Wilson's album. He wrote Ronald Isley's, like, 2 of his albums. He wrote Kelly Price albums, and it's like there's no way you just going to eradicate all these people's lives because they only got one album, one fire album.
Like, what's the line?
Yeah. And it's like he's not getting paid for this song. Maybe like points. I don't even know how that works.
I think they would get a lot of points.
I think he sold the song to him, maybe. How does that work?
But you still, like, songwriting, you still get those credits, and like lyrics, if they use your song, you still get like a percentage of that.
I don't know. And where's his money going now?
To his I don't know.
His estate?
To his books. That's so rude. That was something I meant to look up, and it's not that easy to look up. It's all right. Who are the, like, in your head when you think top songwriters, like R&B, when it comes to R&B, even pop, like songwriters that you don't necessarily think, like, oh yeah, or you forget, like, they're singers, but they're also songwriters.
Singers who are also songwriters.
Yeah.
Neo.
Yeah. I forget he writes for other people. The Dream.
Babyface.
Money Long. She's a
Money Long.
Or Mooney, however you say her name, but definitely.
Gotta be Money Long. Nobody ever say Mooney Long.
I've heard people say Mooney Long, and I was like, is that it? Because I don't like that. Twin, I don't like it. Yeah. Victoria Monet. She wrote for a lot of people.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to be, like, I feel like that's where the money's at. If you're an artist and you're able to get that credit.
Brian McKnight, there it is. They're saying Tank.
Tank, yes.
Prince. Yep. Good job, Moyo.
Yep.
Yeah.
What?
They talking about the money goes to the books over here on Instagram. And then it says he needs snacks in there. Yeah.
The inflation in jails. Nobody talks about that, but never mind.
There's inflation?
But, I mean, like, it's like they can charge way more in prison. There's no competition, but they tend to charge more. In
the vending machines?
Like vending machines, wherever you get stuff. I don't, I've never been personally, but yeah. Like, even like when people make them collect calls, those are expensive phone calls.
Yeah.
They're not just everyday typical. Right, and it's like, why does it cost so much more?
And is it like a card that they use? What is the actual cash? How do they pay for things?
I don't know.
It has to be like a card, like a.
But they can't have a physical card, can they? Like,
that's why I was going to like a wrist, like a barcode, like a.
Maybe they do their fingerprint now, the eyeballs.
Come on, man. What's my guy no eyes?
Sorry. Why is that the thing you went to?
I mean, because it's like, hey, man, what y'all gonna do about me? I think it has to be some sort of barcode that they have to either like a necklace or something on their wrist that they can kind of like scan their money like a credit card.
I mean, like, I don't think they would have like the actual. From what I remember listening to on a blog one time, like there was like vendors and certain things where you can go get not inside the prison, but like if you had visitors and stuff come, like that you could go and buy from there. But I don't know how freely they have stuff. Like maybe it's like school cafeteria back in the day.
Like a lunch ticket?
Lunch ticket.
Yeah,
and
but
you're like, can I get that? No?
No, because lunch tickets was like a meal a day. But it wasn't like you can add up, like let me get 2 orange juices, a chocolate milk. So it was just like a meal. It was like a set meal. But when it comes to people say put money on my books, you got to know like, I got enough money to buy some cigarettes today or a phone call.
Right.
It has to be some sort of scanning mechanism that is like it's deducting as your
palm print. It's like
you keep saying, what if I ain't got no hands? What if I burnt my hands in the fire?
Why is this what you go to? Why do you think like that's not a majority of people's issues?
You just say ain't no fingerprints in there. JPay. They call it JPay. Ain't got no fingerprints in there. Yep, JPay. You put money on the books, can actually look for actual purchases. They give them them actual packages.
Who's schooling us?
Moyo. And Big Sis Chris.
Appreciate y'all, because I wasn't going to find out.
Commissary and the books are the most expensive. I would like to look up how much cigarettes cost. And okay, Google, how much does cigarettes cost in prison?
On the website federalcriminaldefenseattorney.com, they say, while a pinner typically costs $5, a whole cigarette can run between $15 and $20. A prisoner back between $200 and $300. Dependent upon the supply and demand economics at the specific prison facility. Prisons that don't allow smoking also don't sell lighters or matches.
Yo.
For one cigarette?
$15, yo.
Listen.
Brilliant. Hey, prison, listen to me. Prison aside, I know it's dark, I know it's wild, but prison is a brilliant business.
Evil is brilliant a lot of times. That's what we say. Evil genius. Evil genius. These systems that we subscribe to and live in, yes, that's absolutely a way they found one up.
I don't think the people heard what they said. Did y'all hear what the woman said? Did y'all hear what the woman said about how much cigarettes cost in prison? They said in life, in normal world, cigarettes can cost pack of cigarettes costs $5. But in prison, one cigarette, not the pack, one cigarette could be up to $20.
Just one.
One cigarette.
How long are you smoking that?
One cigarette is $20. Brilliant.
That is
brilliant.
And then that don't not have a lighter.
How much a lighter cost, yo?
Let's see. Hold on. So the whole cigarette between $15 and $20. A pack will set a prisoner back between $200 and $300.
A pack of cigarettes is $300.
And then it says prisons that don't allow smoking also don't have lighters. So then you got to get your lighters in here. By and large, most U.S. prisons, along with have banned inmates from using tobacco products. So that's not even anything you can necessarily put on your books, but like if you have somebody in there, get them a pack of cigarettes, they can make $200 to $300.
Wow. They can make money. Wow.
Because you got to hustle.
Yeah. Wow. Moyo said, ask about the top ramen. Okay, Google, how much does ramen noodles cost in prison?
On the website sfgov.org, they say, a packet of ramen ranges from 40 cents to $1.25. A bag of chips ranges from 45 cents to $2.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I'm thinking about say like $95.
Listen to the resourcefulness of these people in prison. Prisons that don't allow smoking don't sell lighters and matches. As such, inmates need to secure their own fire sources. A typical fire source consists of 2 AA batteries, a strip of foil from a ramen noodle soup packet, and the inmate first scratches paint off a piece of metal such as their desk or window frame. With the metal exposed, they place the 2 batteries, one positive side up and the other negative side down on the metal. They cut the strip in half and hold the 2 pieces of foil on the terminals, and when the foil touches the center, a flame will appear. This is a straight up science experiment.
Yeah, just to smoke a cigarette.
Oh my gosh.
And someone has gotten so good at it, it's like, yo, put this online. I want to show you the people how to make this happen.
Yo, even if only a pack of cigarettes is smuggled in a day, this equates to 1,000 to 1,500 in a typical 5-day week. Some find a hard time ignoring. That's
I ain't gonna hold you. Here's the brass tacks. If I come up with $1 billion anything, I am opening up a prison. Y'all gonna be like, whoa, Dion, what is wrong with you, brother? You open up a prison? Yes. Big business imprisoning. Big business. If I can sell 1 cigarette for $20, this is great business.
Brother.
I don't even care about the prisoners.
You are standing on the backs of your own. You are standing on the necks of your own people.
I opened up a prison in North Dakota where it's all white people, and I feel like it's a reverse slavery.
This is DEI in action.
It's like, yeah,
affirmative action in reverse.
And then they be like, we gotta keep our white brothers and sisters out of the prison because there's a black owner, y'all.
Oh my gosh. A mess.
Yo, no, Kareem, listen. They just said, I'm not diabolical. They just said in prison, a pack of cigarettes is it's $200. 1 cigarette is $1. I mean, 1 cigarette is $20. That's a great business, man.
But that's the people inside. That's not the prison providing it. That's the people inside doing their own hustle.
I need to sell. I need to sell to them. I don't know if that's about owning the prison, but whoever's selling to the prisoners is a great business.
That's crazy.
I need this money, Frankie.
So this says, now I'm doing research, like I'm about to write a script.
Yeah.
In jail, where inmates aren't allowed to handle cold hard cash, most people imagine the same stereotypical prison currency, cigarettes. But they say cigarettes, but also fish and ramen are good currencies. I guess like canned fish. They're non-perishable and they come in standard units. And it says that if you could tell a person's worth by how much ramen they have in their locker.
They're not even eating it. So they're just passing it around like poker chips. They're not even eating.
Inmates can rack up debt with people who hold large ramen reserves, earn higher credit limits, and even refinance soup debts with different ramen reserve holders. This sounds like cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
This is the original cryptocurrency.
And what's wild is no one's even eating it. They're just passing it around like, hey, man, you owe me 15 packs of Newports. It's like, oh, I got you, brother. Are you going to smoke it? No, I'm going to keep exchanging it around.
I like that sweatshirt. I'm going to give you 2 cups of ramen for this sweatshirt. Like, that's literally what it said on that. That's crazy. Or I just need that ramen so I can get the foil to make a lighter for my cigarette. Like,
that's wild. Wow.
That is insane. I feel like has to be other businesses for you to invest in though. Like
I whoever is this is sad. I need to open up a prison just to see because when you I can't say make or force or instruct the prisoners to work for you making license plates, I'm certain they're getting a crazy profit.
Yeah.
If the prisoners are making license plates for like $1 and I sell it to the DMV for like 175.
Or it's like you have contracts. So, for example, Victoria's Secrets might be like, I just need people to, I don't know, sew the tags inside of the underwear.
Mm-hmm. They give their prisons.
So you get this, they get the prisoners to do it. So you have this large contract, and then you're only paying these people like pennies off of what you're getting.
Boy.
So that's the profitability. It's the contracts with these large businesses. And that's where people are like, the 13th Amendment pretty much like is all but like it applies to people in prison. Like
big business, baby.
You lost your freedom. When you lose your freedom, it's such a thing. Like you go to jail, sure, for whatever crime you do. If it's a real crime, you go to jail. You go, I mean, even if it's not a real crime, people go to jail. But then like you're forced to go and you work at minimum wages. So if you have a family that you're supporting, your family's lost that income. They don't have any help that way. And then when you come out, you have to pay restitution. You have to pay all these fees, and it's like, but I did my time. But it's like, no, now you have to pay this amount.
And you can't tell on your job application that you went to prison.
It's like, yo,
like, it's brilliant. I need for y'all to tell me, is this immoral?
Yes.
Listen.
The answer is yes.
How is this bad? Now, I'm listen. I know it sounds bad, but listen. If I did not, listen.
Dion.
Listen. Hear me out. I need you to listen. Someone's in prison, right? I own a prison, and someone's in prison. Should we not give them work? They're just on detention.
Sure, you can work.
They're just grounded, right? Listen,
sure.
Okay, stop right there, because let's see where you're going. So if it's like, okay, cool, we want to work them because they're just not going to be sitting here just chilling the whole time. We got to, keep people active because people get dormant, they get lazy or whatever. Sure, sorry, let's keep moving. Let's get you some jobs, right? If I pay you full salary, it's like, this is a reward, right? Like it's a reward. It's like, man, I want to go to jail so I can have a job because I can't get a job in the outer world.
Prison is supposed to be an actual rehabilitation center that when people go in, they come out better than they were before.
Right.
So then maybe you don't have jobs. Maybe it's like, we're going to have psychologists. We're going to have anger management classes. We're going to teach you how to do your credit, like life skills that you actually need. You have the opportunity to, like, I know there's some programs where you can study online and go to school in a certain type of way and work out, but I don't think it should be like a day spa. But I do think that at the same time, like, if you're gonna work people, like, sure, you're not paying them full salary, but something that they can give back to their families.
Yes. But they're not working 24 hours. They're working what? Let's just say they're working 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
They're working 5 hours.
Be able to send that money to pay for like groceries. I'm not saying pay everything
to their family.
To their family.
Well, they have a family.
If they don't have a family, then they could go to their restitution. Like, the fees they have to pay when they get out.
Yeah. Who's paying this?
Who's paying?
Yeah. Who's paying them this money?
Private prisons?
Yeah.
The private prison, their contracts that they have with these big companies.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just alley-ooping the money. Again, why? Listen. I own this prison, right? Companies are coming to me for work, for cheap work. Sure, I know it sounds sad and bad. But if somebody on the outside couldn't find a job, they're going to say, I want to go to jail so I can get some money. And now people are doing crimes for no reason.
I'm saying business doesn't have any place in, you shouldn't be able to privatize prisons, so prisons can then have contracts to make people want to do that. Like, I don't think that's the place for it to happen.
That's the punishment. The
But
punishment
that's what I'm
is
saying.
working for
You
pennies.
sound like the people, the minute like slavery was over, they were like, we no longer have free slave labor. It's gonna kill us to pay full wages.
I know.
So how do we get free? There's a way to get free slave.
Yeah. I understand how sad it sounds.
But I'm saying that's the exact system that you're buying into, my brother.
Right. What I hear you, but understand, as the owner of a prison,
Yeah.
if I want to pay these people fair money, this is no longer a prison. This is a reward.
Let me tell you though.
Are you listening to what I'm saying
hearing
versus
you.
rebuttaling?
I'm about to have a whole different other thing to say. I said
so
I
you
hear
change
you.
the subject.
I'm not changing the subject.
Okay,
you
go
said,
ahead.
what did you say? You said that if this is $1 billion business, this is $1 billion business idea.
Right.
I'm saying there's so many other businesses that's lucrative that you could get into.
What is that?
Oh, funny you should ask. I want to ask you top 10 lucrative businesses that one can get into. That's where I was going. You were so angry with me.
No, because I was like, I need people to understand in the comment section. Please, I know this is inhumane for sure. Before you look it up, Twills, listen to what I'm saying. This is very inhumane. I know it is. It sounds very inhumane. Mm-hmm. As a prison owner, if I paid people what they were worth in my prison, this is no longer a prison. This is a reward. If I was working at Taco Bell, making minimum wage, I get arrested for some sort of allegations or something that happened, and I'm in jail for 10 years for drug possession or something. And now I'm working for Delphi or GMC, making $35 an hour. It's like, oh, I came up in prison. I was like, you have to be punished by making scraps. It's like, this sucks. But you're working that small amount of money, that small amount of time, and then when you get out, then you can do your rehabilitation. Like, you know what? Now I get some psychotherapy. I can kind of like talk to somebody.
But you can't even afford that. You can't even get to that part.
Why can't it just be a free class?
It's such a cycle. So this system, what you're saying, sure, it sounds fine, but it doesn't go into like the deeper cycle and implications of what you're saying, because people like that money. Like, the system then is like, okay, this is a great and lucrative way. I'm able to make some more money. I would really be able to kill this if I had even more prisoners. Mm-hmm. Oh, they're not doing enough crimes? What are some simple crimes?
Yeah, I know how it works.
So I'm saying, like, you're speaking to like a very surface level thing, and I'm like, sure, that makes sense. But this is such a deeper cyclical part of the problem that even participating in it and it being an opportunity for people to make money off the backs of others to that level is detrimental and problematic. And that's what I was speaking to.
I understand the toxic part of prisons. I know people's like, yo, we are running low on people.
Right.
I get it. That's the sucky. I'm the prison. I'm not the police officer, but I know the police officers are probably getting a cut for arresting people. I'm talking about the actual business. I know the part that people really hate, like they're imprisoning black people for no reason. I get it.
So somebody can make more money. It's not no reason.
I get it, but I'm talking about the perfect. I'm perfect with a K.
It's a T at the end.
With a K. I'm talking about the idea of prison, the actual owning a prison and having. First of all, I'm never going to do this. But I'm talking about the idea is brilliant, because it's like you're making these people who are on punishment, life punishment, work hard labor that on the outside is like $45 an hour, right? So they're getting pennies. And it's like, oh, this is all profit. Of course businesses are going to come to me because it's a win-win for both situations.
Right.
So I'm saying that idea is a brilliant idea. Yes, the corruption of imprisonating black people into the prison is trash. But the person who actually did a crime, the meth head who murdered a pregnant mom in the mall, yes, punish him by putting him in here and working for, Nissan.
Right. And I acknowledged, I said, yes, that's a dope idea.
Yeah.
It's evil genius, but I can't like then just leave it at that and say, yes, it's a good idea, because it goes so much deeper. It goes way beyond that.
You know, you try to be cool. Yeah, doing. So I can flip it to anything. It don't have to be about prison. All right. I need for y'all to understand the brilliance of the idea. If I was like, you working at Lacktoast, and then somebody said, listen, your normal rate to produce is $2,000 a movie, right?
Yes, sure.
But it's like, this is for the sake of easy math, $2,000, let's say $100 for a movie, all right? For the sake of easy math. This is your rate that you gave to this person. Then somebody was like, hey, to shoot a 30-second commercial, we're going to pay you $1,000 because these kids are, juvenile delinquents. You'd be like, okay, I'm only doing juvenile delinquents? You'd be like, yes. It's like, sure, I would love to support them. Now you're not even doing normal movies for $100. You're like, I'm getting 10 times as much to do something smaller. You're like, and it's like, just know that these are troubled children. You'd be like, I'm totally fine by producing their 30-second promos of don't get on drugs. And you like, I remember you used to do those movies for Michael Bay? Like, yeah, I don't do it no more.
Yeah.
For $100? I'm not doing it no more. It's like, that's inhumane that you're not even like helping real people. You're only kind of catering to these juvenile delinquents and you're making, It's like, I'm talking about people are pushing the juvenile delinquents to you. Like, hey, do their promos for them.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then you just drove the point home. I got nothing else. I got nothing else.
Because I know people are still stuck on the idea of prison. I'm just talking about the business of it is brilliant.
Yeah.
Not the actual prison is trash.
You actually stated that very well.
People are still saying I'm inhumane. They saying I'm out of hand. I'm pinky in the brain. I'm diabolic.
You also have this part of you that sees like the injustices, and you're able to be like, well, they were brilliant behind it. The reason behind it. So people are going to say you are diabolical for your ability to look into something and to see like how people are able to exploit something for their personal gain. Yeah,
people look at the world of stuff. I look at the idea of why. Like, yes, I'm all black. But the idea of slavery is crazy.
You're not biracial.
Come on, stay with the subject. The idea of slavery is crazy. As in, like, there's a lot of money over here. And then it's like, I don't want to do it. And it's like, getting a bunch of people to work and to brainwash them is wild. And be successful. And then have the nerve to have so many generations not even knowing the origin of how this happened. And then they be like, you do realize this is inhumane. We have to stop this. Stop this. We got to stop this. You want us to stop slavery. Yeah, man, these are people. No, they're not. So when you think about the white people is like putting up a fight of all profit. Yeah. I can't say this. I'm black, but I get it. If somebody's saying you about to lose a lot of money by letting this law go by. We as black people like, yay, we're about to be free. White people's like, I'm about to lose a lot of money if we let this pass, if we let this law go by. So I get the fight. Look at this person right here. Slavery was brilliant. Who's this? Diverse Cans?
Again, it's like, so, I mean, and I get to the point where you have to, I understand if this system's going to work for so long and so well, you have to break people. But like that part that you said, the inhumanity behind it, like absolutely broken people, like,
Yeah.
you know, like, and the mistreatment, the ways that punishment just prevailed, the splitting of family, like all those things that kept people. And it's just like, you know, sometimes, you know, this is a very poor analogy, but you know, like if you work at a place with a horrible boss, the people are going to like eventually revolt.
Yeah.
So then it's just like, I wonder if you just like treated them a little bit more nicer. Like if you were like, yes, your husband can be here and you can have the kids and it's a whole family. We're keeping it together with people. And like, you know, this is a non-violent plantation with people been a little bit more willing to not have certain freedoms to help work on this place. Probably not. That probably wouldn't have lasted too long. But the concept, the idea is just like the way that you were like, so trash to people, like the people will revolt. Like you had to know, they're probably surprised. Like this has been going on for a long time. I'm surprised they haven't came out after us yet.
Yeah. I think the women and the children ruined slavery because the women start to gain relationships with like the maids that help. And you know, seeing them like with babies, like the women who are, or the help who was in the house, they was having conversations with them. And what do you think about this? I like this, ma'am. I like that. And then now all of a sudden you see the white man like striking a woman and stuff. It's like, and just like, why'd you hit her? And it's like, man, she ain't nothing. And it's like,
you didn't read none of them books. That didn't happen.
You don't think the woman or the children is like, Dad,
it hardened people's hearts. Like they didn't see, I can't say all, but it was a good amount of people that like the kids had that, but you historically see where the kids grew cold to those same ladies that would have fed them or took care of them and all that type of stuff. So that hasn't, in my readings of enslaved persons' narratives and in history, wasn't a thing. Like there were like sympathizers, sure. Like there was people who were like, we just don't believe in slavery. We think this is wrong. But it had those very same people who were like, we don't believe in slavery. It's wrong. Let's not do it up here. We don't care what they do down there. And matter of fact, if you could keep all the black people down there, that would be great. Like, you know, there was that type of society. It wasn't.
But just imagine if the mom was really, really good with the help, and it was like, hey, what happened to Odessa? And it was like, yeah.
Use my great grandma's name.
That's her great grandma.
Yes.
What happened to Odessa?
Why'd
like,
you bring Odessa into this?
We had to get rid of her, man. And it's like, what? And it's like, yeah, she got caught eating the cherry pie. It's like, no, that was me. It's like, oh, well, my bad. We got another one coming. Like, no. And it's like, Dan, I'm not ever talking to you again.
If that was the case, it would have been over a lot sooner.
Well, no, I'm saying, this can't happen.
Yeah, it can't happen.
And it was like, I can't believe he killed her. He killed her because I had some cherry pie and he thought it was her. And it was like, what is wrong with you? Had a relationship with her. She was making me a quilt. You know, it was like we were talking about life together. You just killed her. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's like, I'm never having sex with you again. It's just like, what? I don't know. I just created a whole scenario.
Alternate reality.
That can happen.
I said it can happen.
You said, oh, like I said, then she grew wings and she had Pegasus claws.
I'm just saying, I don't think it was that common, but sure, that could happen. But it's also like the mentality, just like you broke people down and had them feeling like less and not as deserving. You really had laws that was like, this is 3/5 of a person. And then you had science that was like, black people, like these Africans cannot be as smart as white people. Like there was all these things that debased us that was supposed to be like science and facts. So it was just like, oh, this is just like a really evolved primate. You know, like they're not really, they need us. Like, even if you had sympathy, it's like to a level that people, I mean, like they treated slaves worse than they treated their own dogs. So dogs had more rights and whatever than the enslaved people. So that's what I'm saying. Like their mindset, even though they might have like had certain sympathies, would not have always evolved to that sort of level of care and compassion, because it's not a real person. It's just this is just money for us.
Yeah,
that type of thing.
Yeah, I would love to see the evolution of freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah, somebody.
You don't like the movies though, so you would never watch it.
I don't. That show Underground seemingly depicted it well. You see Underground?
That was. Oh, I was so mad when they canceled Underground. Underground was a good show.
You talking about the end of it? Did you see the show?
Yes.
So was she saying? And
it was a really good depiction of like, what life would have looked like, and how like it painted its humanity of the black enslaved people also really well. Like it was a good watch. I really enjoyed that show. Yeah.
Yeah. I never could get into any. I can't say never. It just takes a lot for me to get into. Only reason why I would watch slave or black oppression movies is if a friend is in it, or you see something that I really want to see. I really hate the messages, man. It's like, dude, it's
the messages you hate, or
as in not the message, but it's like the theme, the genre, the time, and it's like, you already know how I feel about life.
Yeah,
it's just like I don't like to see black people like that, and it's like you forget about your history, and it's like I think,
so riddle me this. When it comes to that, because that's an actual argument people use for not wanting to teach the slave history, enslavement in schools, what they call critical race theory, because it says it makes kids feel bad about themselves. It gives kids low self-esteem. So there's a growing momentum where people are like, we don't want our kids to learn about that chapter in American history.
Sure.
And so with that same mindset, do you agree?
I don't think it's still history. I'm talking about making art, as in making it a movie. Like I think we've got enough of it. It's like, movies is essentially art. It's like somebody keep drawing penis pictures, and it's like, all right, I think we kind of figured it out now. Hold on. We're looking from this angle though. This is from up under, and it's like, yep, that's still a penis. And it's like, I'm kind of sick of looking at your porn, bro. And it's it's financed by white people. And it's like, what are you getting from this, man? It's like, if I want to know what happened, I'll just watch an older version of this. I'll watch Roots. I'll watch Underground. But I don't need to keep seeing more black oppressed movies.
I do hear that. I do think there's also like, I think if we start believing that that's our origins and not like a chapter in our history, that's kind of where it gets misplaced, because we don't see, like, I loved what's the movie with Viola?
The Help?
Nope.
The Warrior movie.
Woman King.
Yeah.
Woman King. Like, I love that movie. I've probably seen it like 4 or 5 times, because it's rare that you get to see like such a glorious, true like depiction of history from an era before our people were brought to the United States.
I enjoyed that one.
Yeah. So I think like if we saw more of those movies, there's a place for those type of movies. Because also a lot of times, I won't say a lot of times, but there are like instances where enslaved people, when they gained their freedom, If they met like the right group of people, they would want to hear about their story and how did you escape and what was it like. So then we have these slave narratives. A lot of people aren't just now going back to read these slave narratives or the story, and there are some like, wow, that was amazing, you did what? That's crazy. And of course it makes you like 12 years a slave, like you just kind of really get upset that man was free, had to go, became enslaved and went, and found his freedom. That's a frustrating story. Yeah. But it's a real story. And it's just kind of like, that's parts of his, so like.
Wasn't he a slave for no reason?
For no reason. Like, he was an actual free slave.
Right.
And I think because he crossed like a border or something, I forget the exact part, but then like they captured him and was like, you're a slave. You're now enslaved once more.
Is that a comedy?
So you're over here going back to life?
Is that a comedy?
It's not. That thing was traumatic.
Yeah. So what makes 12 years enslaved and life no different?
Assuming that people watch the conversation on Lacaroni and Chaz. Whole different podcast, Dion.
Yeah. They were arrested for no reason.
I think
12 years.
I think tone plays a lot.
It's the
and
same
jokes.
story. Same story.
There was no jokes in this movie.
It better not be.
Lupita was fighting for some soap. Listen, it's not the same story. They were fighting for their lives.
All you gotta do is change the music around. Change the music around. They be like, oh, this is a comedy.
Oh
what
my
up?
Gosh.
We got MOP up in here, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, MOP.
MOP.
All right.
Do
you want to do your list thing?
Huh? I mean, the way you shut my down.
I'm sorry, dude. I got emotional, man.
You did.
Columbus.
So, I want you to guess the top 10 most lucrative businesses.
Top 10 most lucrative businesses.
Yes. Like if you were to start a business today, these are the businesses that.
All right. I'm gonna start listing them and see. I'm gonna start listing them and see if they're on anything on the list.
Okay.
Parking lots.
Not on there.
Laundromats.
Not on there.
Arcades. Lucrative. E-commerce.
Nope.
Lucrative.
Most lucrative.
I'm upset I haven't guessed one yet. Top 10?
Top 10.
I don't know how to make money.
That's why we're having this discussion.
As in easy work.
Not easy work. Like you start this business, money will come in. Money, you will make money. You will pay off.
Prisons.
So, let me say most top 10 lucrative small businesses.
Salon.
Not on here.
Medication.
Nope. You want me to give you one?
Yes. TikTok.
Food trucks.
Food trucks. That's number 10?
That was number 1 on the list.
Number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Car wash services.
Car wash? No.
I've looked at multiple sites.
What I'm saying is, as in you have to buy it.
Car wash services. So they also have those mobile ones where you can come to people.
Lucrative.
Yeah. Auto repair. I can see that.
Okay.
Because they overcharge like a mug.
Mm-hmm.
Personal trainers.
You don't need to purchase anything.
Yeah. I mean, like other than a gym membership, you're good.
Okay.
Newborn and post-pregnancy services.
So a widow, what's it called? Mother, midwife?
Midwife, doula. I don't know if the diaper pickup thing is on there. Like, those certain services where you get rid of your diapers and they come and pick it up for your kids.
Okay. Somebody said sex worker.
Oddly enough, not on this list. Should be. Maybe this list is biased. Enrichment activities for children.
Nanny. Right?
Yep.
None of y'all have guessed right. Real estate.
No.
Nobody has guessed anything yet.
Mobile apps and entertainment for children.
Oh, yeah.
This
is number what?
That's 7. Number 8, shared accessories and attires. So like those like Rent the Runway, or like where you can rent a dress and you return it. I don't know if you're familiar with those
who's making the money? You're buying so you're renting it.
Yeah.
So you're making the outfit and then
not even making it. So like if I bought a Vera Wang gown for however much, let's say 1,000, and you rent it out to other people and they rent it from you for like $100 each time.
Who bought it? Who created it? So if I was a boutique store and I bought a bunch of dresses.
Yeah, you just buy a bunch of dresses and they rent those out. They do that with like everyday clothes too now.
Tuxedos and stuff.
And it used to be just like for events, but there's like actual whole wardrobes where people just rent like 4 or 5 different pieces every month and turn that back in.
Cleaning service, tech support, rental service.
What type of rental?
Car rental.
Nah.
Sex rental. You can rent my wife.
Vacation rentals is number 10 on the list. Like
Airbnb.
Mm-hmm. And then this I've never heard of. Shared home improvement equipment is number 9. So like if you have saws or, big stuff that you wouldn't typically have a place to store, carpet cleaning, whatever, you can rent those out.
Rent the person, because it's letting you come to your house and shampoo your carpet.
But even the gear, like you could do it yourself.
Oh.
And you're just charging for that.
Okay, and that's number 10.
That was number 9. Vacation rentals was 10.
Oh.
Yeah.
MOP said, where's this list at?
This list, my computer's over there. This was on 2 different sites I went to. It was on like NerdWallet, and Forbes was outdated. So maybe this was NerdWallet and Yahoo.
NerdWallet.
And then there was some stuff on LinkedIn as well.
Next week, I'm going to be all of these things.
You're going to be all of these things?
All of them.
Next
I'm going to have a food truck. I'm going to be a doula. I'm going to have a bunch of mobile apps.
Yeah.
Children.
I mean, I guess like mobile apps, once you get the app started, and people just start downloading, like, so there's definitely like, I feel like in all those things, like there's like that work that you have to put, you're going to work hard. Because even like owning a food truck, you got to make sure you're out and about promoting. It's a lot of work. So I don't know, like.
Food truck is number 1. It's crazy.
It's crazy because restaurants have like a very high fail rate. So you wouldn't think, but I guess if you're eliminating like the overhead of a restaurant and you're able to go to the places that people are, and your only overhead is this truck and paying like
food,
crew people and food, then you're able, because food trucks ain't cheap. Like when you go to a food truck, you're paying at least $20 minimum.
Right. So, and you're paying them for one meal.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. For an hour, if I buy 2 burritos, that's $20, right? Mm-hmm. Sir, that is your hourly rate right there.
Right.
And all I gotta do is, I'm taking the money, you making the food. So here, I think it needs 3 people. Just to say, on an average food truck, would need a cook, somebody's taking the money, and somebody who's bagging and possibly filling up the drinks in the front and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So let's just say $60 an hour for these 3 people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And somebody ordered 3 burritos. That's your hourly rate right there.
So that's just the like clear overhead. So
that's just for the people. Then you got to pay for like the meats and stuff.
But if you're buying this food wholesale and stuff like that, then you're not paying like it's already profit and stuff over that. So, I mean, I'm not trying to be all sweaty in a food truck, but it worked. I mean, like I said, I feel like all of them, like even creating a mobile app, there's the work that you have to do up front to make it work. and then sure, there's always like bugs to fix and figuring out how you can get the apps and the ads and stuff like that. So nobody says the easiest way to make money. It's just a lucrative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you gotta fill up the water. You know what I'm saying? To wash your hands and stuff and the soap. It's a lot. It's a lot, paper towels. And you want to get real fancy, you can have little tables and chairs outside.
Like with vacation rentals though, think it's not much like work that we do
here
for studio rentals, for filming locations. That's a lot of trust. Like somebody staying in your house.
Yeah. So I don't know if y'all looked this up, man. They are implementing on Airbnb that they have cameras on all traffic areas. You heard about this?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's like, hey, Airbnb, it's required because a lot of people were saying this was broke when I got here, or this never happened, or I got hurt right here. I'm suing the place, like this was unstable. So it's like, so Airbnb was like, all right, in order for us to fix this, it is imperative that everybody have Ring cameras inside their traffic areas, which is kind of creepy.
It's kind of creepy. But I mean, that's real talk. We had to get cameras in here.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's essentially, it's a place of work.
Right.
But hotels is different.
Yeah.
Airbnbs is different because now it's like, this is your family.
Right.
This is like, we're staying here.
It's very creepy. 100%. Yeah. I'm saying from the business side, it absolutely makes sense because there has been times where like we had to dispute something and before cameras, we didn't have any evidence.
Right. For sure.
And so I can only imagine like, it's like we're trying to protect. I feel like there had to be another way, like take pictures. When you first come in, the first step is to take video and upload to Airbnb.
Right.
That is your first requirement to get into the space, or for the owner to do right before each, whatever. Like somehow that fresh video has to happen. And then so like the state of everything. And then you can handle it from there. Like it's not proof. It's not, it's not 100%, but at least you're not having to look in on people.
Yeah. Which is insane.
Yeah.
Because, people get comfortable out that shower. People get real comfortable.
Like, I don't want nobody looking at me. I know what I do in Airbnb.
Because it's like, I forgot the towel in the bathroom. It's like, I know there's a camera in this hallway. Let me, they see me running through the hallway because I forgot my towel in the bathroom. Yeah. So what they talking about?
Mario said, we buying a food truck? What? Yes, what we cooking? App, Nub said, app making requires coding skills, which are long-term marketable. True. And as the set said, we're doing tacos. I love a good taco food truck. I have friends that have food trucks. It's a good time. Kind of creepy, but isn't it necessary? Checklist from the booker and confirm. List you as check-in. Y'all don't worry about squatters? Oh, when it comes to here, I do sometimes wonder, because after we watched that Bad Roommates, remember that roommate? Yeah. Worst roommate, whatever that thing was, I was like.
But they're not signing up for addresses and stuff. That's how you can. They don't have a key.
Number one, they don't have a key.
They don't have a key to the place. They're not signing up for address. Say, hey, this is my new address right here. They're not doing an address change. And our contract with Peerspace is for a certain amount of hours. So I hope Peerspace will get involved.
Right.
They have all their credit card information, and we can keep taxing their credit cards. Like, they still there.
Oh yeah, we charge that extra, overtime.
Hey, you be like, hey, they've been there for 2 days, yo. I need all the money
at the overtime rate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they still there.
Yeah.
They're ruining the other clientels after that.
Yeah. Yeah. This is safer than the squatting situation.
Right.
And the terminology is not like, like you are able to live. It's no like overnights, anything. So yeah, we're fine.
Question for you: the person, remember the time the people had cooked something for like an hour or something, and he ruined the whole kitchen, and you had to clean it up from between. So, did they ever dispute their charges, or did you bust them, or what happened?
Peerspace did not side with us because they said, we just putting all our business out here. Peerspace said because it's not in the rules on the page that we will fine you if you don't clean up, even though it's in all the information that we submit afterwards. That Peerspace says they can't do anything to uphold that. So now it's in the rules.
Okay.
But at that time, they were like, it's nowhere on your page. And I was like, but you see, we send this to every single client.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I felt like we don't tell you how to get into our space on our page.
Right.
And you're not coming at us saying, like if we didn't let a person in or we didn't give people instructions, how you dispute that because it's not on the page.
Right,
like, what are you talking about, Peerspace?
Yeah.
So there's like information, and Peerspace also encourages you to send your own contracts and stuff. So I felt like I went back and forth for a long time with them, and they were like, "Sorry."
I wasn't there, so what happened? Like, what was spilled? What was on the ground?
It was. So they used all the pots and pans.
Yeah.
And it was like...
They left it on the sink?
They left it... No. So the sink would have been nice. It was all on the stove. There was like everything. The food was splattered. It was stuck. They didn't dump anything out.
Wow.
There was stuff in the sink. Like everything was disgusting. There was a bunch of stuff on the floor. So... And I think we had a 30-minute turnaround. Yeah. Between that and another client. And luckily, that client is a recurring client that I was able to be like, hey, sorry, the previous person did not clean up, so we're trying to handle that. Right. So, like, I put on a load of dishes, but I also had to, like, hand wash and scrub. The vacuum was going. I was also sweeping. Yikes. Meanwhile, this smelled really greasy. Yeah. On top of that, so I had like the doors open and it was spraying. Wow. And luckily, like I said, the clients were really cool and they were like, "Don't worry about it. We're just on that side anyway. It looks great." Like, and it was just like, I cannot present this space looking like this. Wow. It was very like,
and they were there for an hour, and I was like, and in my head I was like, anytime somebody book for an hour, it's going to be chaotic. Yeah, I'm certain it's gonna be chaotic because they're cheap and they're rushing. They're not even trying to figure out.
Yeah, they were young too.
They're not even trying to figure out like if hey, we're done. And it's like, clean up after yourself, man. Like if you pee on the toilet seat, right? You hey, as soon as I'm done peeing, I just back up and walk away.
I think the audacity was that we said, hey, there's another client coming after you. Right. So that was stated. Yeah.
You said it to him, right? Yeah.
I said it to him. I think you said it to him as well because you opened for him.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because you were the one. They were like, "We're gonna save you some." Like,
those people.
Yeah. So it was just very like.
Got you.
That was like, it was a lot happening in our Lacktoast life during that time too, and
I do remember that.
It just was not like.
Yeah, I do remember that person.
Yeah.
Anywho, that was an amazing episode right there. We got some good sound bites. Came out. Tierra over here said there's a video of an Airbnb where there was a lady who came out the hidden room of the house.
Oh, I seen that mess. Yo, you know what she's talking about?
Yeah. Came out like a bookcase.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I came to get some butter.
But they were like, "What are you doing here?" And she was like, "It's my house. I live here."
Right.
And they're like, "But we rented the whole house from you." And she was like, "Where am I supposed to go? It's my house."
Oh boy.
What?
Wild.
What?
Wild.
Like full, like.
Yeah.
Just, I live here. Like, good luck to you.
And not even like looking at the cameras like, I really need to get this butter to get in this refrigerator. Just like, I'm gonna come out and say, hey, just give you a heads up. Didn't even give him a heads up. Just I think I definitely feel like it was staged because if I was the camera ready to go.
True. But I wonder, unless they heard noise. But there's also like that idea, like on Airbnb, you could clearly say, I'm just renting out rooms.
Right.
I'm not renting the whole space. This is just the room. Mm-hmm. So if you come in talking about, like, if that's not the expectation and you show up, I don't care if it is your house.
Yeah. There's a movie called, I believe it's called Monster, or for those who can help me out in Instagram and YouTube, I think it's called Monster. There was a movie. I feel like the movie cover is red, and something like Witch or something. There was a woman who came to a Detroit Airbnb, and she knocks on the door, and the guy answers. She's like, hey, I rented this Airbnb. He's like, that's impossible because I rented it. And and it was raining outside. It was super dark. And she was like, I rented this place. And he's like, no, here's my reservations. And then he was like, here's my reservations. And she was like, he said, nah, I can't stay in here. I'll just stay in the car. He said, listen, this is crazy. I'm not going to allow you to sit in the car and wait this entire time. In the morning, this neighborhood is dangerous. Mm-hmm. And he was like, you're more than welcome to sleep on he's like, I'll sleep on the couch and you sleep on the bed. And it's a scary movie.
Well,
but,
I'm out.
Huh?
I'm out.
Anybody know what this movie? Barbarian. Thank you. That's what it is. That is the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
That's not.
I'm just saying I'm out. You said it's a scary movie.
Well, because it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that story. That's a cute love story right there. Mm-hmm. Because they end up becoming super cool with each other.
I said I'm out, not tell me the whole story.
That's like the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Dion is going to give away a movie.
That's the first 15 minutes of the movie. That's the trailer.
Is it the trailer? If I watch this trailer and I don't see they become cool, I'm fighting you.
All right.
Let's watch this trailer.
And this is it. Am I lying? That's the premise of the movie. That it's way bigger than that.
Okay. It's
way bigger than that. Yeah, because they rented at the same. Dion is a walking teaser trailer. No, that's the premise of the movie. It's like, oh, it's adorable. No, but it's bigger. No, so I'm saying I didn't tell her much, did I? Mm-hmm. It's like the first 15 years.
I mean, honestly, guys, I'm not watching it.
Gonna watch the movie.
He said scary. Twilla is out.
I won't say it's a horror movie. There's a difference between horror and scary. It's more of a thriller. It's like
he's trying to make it better.
Remember that movie we watched together in the movie theaters, where when the girl who had sex passed it down to the next person? What's that thriller? Remember, if you don't have sex with somebody, you wouldn't curse them, and it was like it was someone's follow. Is it Follow Me or Following?
I watched this.
You and I watched it together.
I never watched this movie.
Yes, we did. It's an old school kind of play of a movie, and is like based off the 80s, and it opens up with a woman like she's like looking back like someone's following me, and then it's like a person like walking towards them, and then it's like, listen, to get rid of that demon that's following you, you have to have sex with somebody.
I'm just saying, like, anything with demons in it don't sound like nothing I'm gonna watch.
Does this sound familiar at all?
No.
Wow. I could have swore we watched this movie together.
Maybe I did, but the blood of Jesus. Amen.
The name of the movie I'm talking about Tierra is I think it's called The Following. And the movie that we're talking about, the Airbnb, is called Barbarian. Cabin in the Woods is a scary comedy, but not a horror film. Same thing.
I used to like scary movies. I think by the time I hit 30, I was over it. Like, I was like, I don't like being scared no more. And I also kind of blame you.
Why don't you like scary? Because I fall asleep on them?
Yeah, so it's like the joy in scary movies is not to watch them by yourself. Right. Is watching with your friends. Mm-hmm. And being like, oh my. Like, so Saw was a scary movie.
It's not scary.
To me, it was scary enough.
It's still not scary.
Anyway, you were like, you got to watch these Saws. So I was watching the Saws, and you kept falling asleep. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this ain't fun no more. I don't want to do it. I don't want to watch these movies.
No regrets.
And none for me either. I'm just not watching them. But so that's like part of the thing. And then like other stuff, I'd be like, y'all be playing with some stuff. I don't even want to play with that.
Yeah, you know so what I love about horror movies is they like to play with the idea of, I can't say play, but it's brilliant because they know the most powerful opposition of demons and, you know, satanic beings or stuff like that is God, is like Jesus. And what I like when it comes to those type of horror movies is like, hey, there's some over here who is having some sort of exorcism, you know, demonic possession. Let me hit up, you know, Father, you know, Abraham, who has many sons. Let me hit up Father, you know. So when he comes to get the demon out, it's like, you know, by the power of, you know, Christ compels you, and he's like trying to get it out, and it's like, oh, now the demon went to the Father, and it's like, and he's like, yes, Father, you are not all the way whole yourself. And he was like, now from a little chink in your armor, I'm going to possess you. And now the mother's like, and I was like, I can imagine hiring the help. And now the help is possessed. And it's like, now that's a scary movie. Now that's terrifying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you see the father fighting like, Father, Jesus, help me. You see the demon fighting him. It's like, woo! Now that's terrifying.
Yeah, I'm good.
I know it's terror.
I was like, I
know it's terror.
Yeah. And also, like, I think there's some stuff that was just kind of like fun level, scary horror situations. But there's some stuff where I'd be like, I feel like people are putting like some real incantation and research up in here. Yeah. And it just like my vibe, I feel like the vibe is off. I don't want to partake in that. And so that's kind of where like I protect my spirit. That's how for I feel a lot of times. And
black oppression.
Right. Protect your spirit. Yeah. I'm not against that. I'm like, if you don't like watching sex scenes, don't watch sex scenes. Protect your spirit. If you know, that sort of thing. Like, it's just like certain energies that's put out and you're just like, I feel uneasy, so I'm not going to vibe with. Yeah. And that's, that's per person.
Sure. Yeah. I love the idea of something that's not even there. It's not in your reality. Right. You're watching it. That's and it's great like movie. And it's like, man, this director, this sound design. Yeah. It's like, man, I am terrified. It's like that's art.
Movies. Like one thing that I do appreciate, like I think people don't appreciate until it's not well done, is sound.
Sound design.
Sound design will transport you. Yeah. There are so many things that I watch with my eyes closed, and you can tell what's happening. Like, or super like gory stuff, like an extremely violent scene. Like, sometimes like causes you to jump, but you hear that like bones crunching and the blood gushing. Like you hear that through sound design, and I know exactly what just happened. I didn't have to see it, but your team did a really good job. Now just imagine how much it would suck. Like you don't know what's going on and you don't hear those, you don't have those effects. You're just like.
I just had a funny idea.
What?
It was like, yo, who's the sound designer of this action film? And he was like, when you broke Jet Li's fingers in that last scene, oh, I felt the crunching, man. What did you use to? He was like, no, we really broke his fingers.
That was real sound.
That was real.
That was not Foley.
You know, like we wanted. He does all his own stunts. He does all his. He's like, yeah, look.
So the blood gushing from the arm.
Yeah, that's all us right there. We broke his femur. Those real car accidents. He actually flew through the window.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think I first started appreciating sound. I was listening to the sound designer for Jurassic Park. I think it's a brother. I think it's a black man who did that. And just like the levels and the things that they put together to make a certain sound, like, you know, like water running isn't just water running.
Right.
Like there's a specific sound that you have and layers that you have to build. I'm like, man, that is a true art form. Right.
Because in reality, you can't actually film great sound with the actors and rain and running on wet muddy gravel.
Yeah.
And it's like, because when you're running, like, this is going to possibly make noise. So you need to have some sort of protected lav to kind of like, block all sort of running sounds.
Right.
And it's like, we got to add all this in post. Because now you got to have like, you're flapping, leaves onto like, wet dirt.
And even like the sound of like a footstep hitting wet dirt doesn't sound the same as a footstep hitting wet dirt when you do it in the movies and the layers. Yeah. Because they just add so much and build to it. You'd be like, that sounds more like a, than like the actual true one. Because, I remember trying to be cheap on set and trying to get some of those sounds, and it's like, it don't sound the same.
Yep.
It don't do the same. But yeah.
Yeah, it is. We went 2 hours, yo.
Yo.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are overboard.
We had a lot to say.
Did y'all have a good time, y'all? Did y'all have a good time? Tia over here by herself going crazy. Okay, Anna Zazette, Nubs, Moyo. I'm saying LaShonda over here laughing. My friend fell asleep on me watching I Am Legend. You think I Am Legend is scary?
I fell asleep. I never watched the whole thing.
Oh, boy.
I want to watch it, especially in this day of AI, I think.
I would say I Am Legend and War World Z is my, and Train to Busan. Busan. Yeah. That's the hood version.
Busan. What country is Busan?
Busan. Train to Busan.
That's in France.
Those are
France.
Busan. Those are my top 3 favorite zombie movies. I Am Legend was brilliant, man, because I love origins of how zombies come about, because it's like they were close to curing cancer and they figured it out. It's like, man, we figured out a way to eradicate cancer for everybody. And I think everyone got an injection or something like that, or it was either like a mist, and a few amount of people didn't have that gene to adapt it, and then everybody else was turned into zombies, and they couldn't stand light. So he had the whole city to himself. And
yeah, I need to watch that.
Terror, man.
Need to watch that. I love how you be like, we got to wrap up. And another thing.
I did. I'm sorry.
No fault. I just find it funny every time.
Real. That's real.
Every time.
Well, wrap us up then. Put the condom on.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching another fantastic episode of the Baldie Locs Podcast with your girl Twilla Amin.
And Dion
Lack. Listen, once again, if you are not, if you subscribe but not hit that notification bell, you are missing out on our live conversations here. We do sometimes go live on our Lacktoast Instagram, so you can join us there. But meanwhile, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, share, spread the Baldie Locs Podcast everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Let's do it.